am going to tell you one of my most favorite stories today, and it is a story that I'm telling in tribute to an amazing children's author named Tomie dePaola, who died a couple of weeks ago and left us probably 250 of his wonderful works. And the story I am telling with you today is called STREGANONA. And when it first came out, in 1975, it was listed as a retold tale by Tomie dePaola, but in truth, it was not retold, and later editions say that it was an original tale by Tomie dePaola, and he also illustrated it. So my job with you today is to help you create characters to tell this story by yourselves, and then to teach you the beautiful poetry that STREGANONA told, and I will do it with or without an accent. You don't need to do it. I am not Italian, but STREGANONA is a Southern Italian folktale, albeit that Tomie dePaola was from, as far as I know, New York City. So here's what you need to tell STREGANONA. Strega means witch, Nona means grandma. STREGANONA was a witch doctor, we are told, and the thing she specialized in was the removal of warts, magically, of course, and headaches. She was really good at headaches. She also had a magic pasta pot. So here is the material you will need. First of all, there is the stage for your story. Beautiful pot, probably never used by me, but certainly used in telling the story. And two characters should tell the story, and they are made out of boxes. So I will use my puppets. I've been telling this story for at least 20 plus years, and same puppets, so you know how long they last. However, what we're going to recommend for you is two puppets, or one would do the job too, and the making of a pom-pom. So just because this is a cheerleader story. So here we go. A box. The most appropriate story for STREGANONA is box would of course be a pasta box. So here we go. I'm going to try not to use the brand names because I don't know these people, but this you will probably see is a pasta box. It should be big enough for your hand to slide in. I have not removed the pasta, therefore I will not be using this box to show you how to make one. So what you need is an empty box. Any old box will do. Little soup box, great. Or perchance, this was one that I made, many years ago. This is from a kid's product. What I recommended that people do is that they bring in their favorite food. And this was made by, this is Avery, who just turned 13 and a half. But so that's when I made this puppet, and you can see wear and tear has not been so good. But the box, so the easiest way to do this is if you want to be in the story, take a picture of yourself, empty the box, put your picture right there. And you can make the hands move. Curly hair is lovely if you happen to have any old ribbons around. Note. But for our particular purposes, because I want to teach you another skill, you need a piece of paper like this. Plain old piece of paper. And then I want you to fold it in half. What I'm going to do is show you how to make it, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done. So what do you need? You need a scissors. So take that scissors, the fold is here, easiest way for me to remember, not to cut that way. So what I'm doing is cutting a half circle with a circle on the top, coming all the way down to our grape ice cream has a purple cherry on the top. And what you have here is the beginning of a face. And then I'm going to open it up. Voila. This has actually got a name. It's called Chinese paper folding. Now what we're going to do, just to make it fancy, you can remember this because you can replay this tape, open it up, and then you cut like that. So you have the makings of a T, capital T like that. Then you're going to, pretty uncomfortable for this face. Then you're going to push this together like that. And what you have is a profile. And remember, STREGANONA, we have our handy dandy stapler, and being careful not to staple my hand together. Nothing a puppeteer wants to do. you make it stick like that so you don't lose your nose. Now, I have these magic things called a roll of eyeballs. I tell you where to get them, but I don't remember. So I also have a marker. So you can put 2 eyeballs, making sure they're nice and dark. So when the puppet looks out at you, you will have eyeballs. So here she is, a purple. My characters are all a variety of colors. Now you want to give her hair so this doesn't hurt. And because we can't go to the beauty shop today, we're going to give her hair that is the same color. I'm pretty sure other people have used this. So what I have cut here is hair for our puppet. Cool, huh? Wish I invented that myself. And where does it go? You got it. It goes on the top of the box. And you have the character. You can make 2 of these because we have 2 characters in our story. So this is how you start. Piece of paper, fold it in half, 2 notches cut, and you have magically one face, first one face, and then the other. Okay, I'm going to use those later. Now, the magic words are a little bit tricky, although it is a poem. So what I'm going to do is say the poem. I've written the words down for you, and I don't know, for you out there who are magically gifted with screenshot, you can even copy the words. Tomie dePaola would want you to tell this story. And there they are, right there. I'm going to get as close as I can to the camera. And if you don't know what they are, you could go on to probably any site and you say to them, excuse me, but I would like to know the words that STREGANONA, the grandma witch, did to tell her story. And this is how it goes. Note the words that rhyme. There's 2 parts. The part that she gets the pot to boil. The second part is where she gets it to stop with one magic ingredient. So are you ready? It goes like this. Bubble, bubble, pasta pot, boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup, so boil enough pasta to fill me up. And then the pasta starts to boil. Awesome. Then, after she's done eating, feeding everyone in the village, which is probably how they get rid of their headaches, she then says, enough, enough, my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot, so simmer down my pot of clay until I'm ready another day. Simple poem, does the job, easy to remember. But for those of you who do not have pom-poms, which is what I use when I tell the story, also it's always nice to have a cheerleader, this is how you make the pom-pom. You take, I like to use the one with the words on it because that's a good memory part, but then you fold it carefully like that. Do you remember at all how I made STREGANONA's purple hair? Well, I'm going to make a cheerleading pom-pom out of this. And this is also good if you want to do a sports story. So what you do is you cut strips. And you can cut them close together, but you don't need to work that hard. Because all you really want to do is when you shake it, the pom-pom will magically appear out of your pot. So it goes like this. Cut them. And if you think you want hair, you can do that too. There it goes. Bubble, bubble, pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm ready another day. And this is the magic. Done. Okay. So now you have all the ingredients to tell the story. I'm going to introduce you to my good friends who have been with me for a very long time, and that would be STREGANONA and her helper, whose name is Big Anthony. And the story takes place in a little village in southern Italy. I have all my props. Usually tell it out of a pot, but my lap is not as big to hold it. I just need to get rid of everything and get you ready and settled. So here's your part. When you hear the word up, you go like this. And when you see the 3 kisses, hands down. It's easy. Easy peasy. So the pot is over here. I will put it on my lap and see how we do. I do not believe that in order to tell a good story, you need a big stage. I need also to remind you that, watch out, Strega is going to fly over because she ended up on the wrong side of my stage. Thank you, Strega. Sometimes if you also don't have any of these props, you also might want to take a spaghetti spoon. If you happen to have an old one, never use a spoon that someone else owns. You can put it in the picture here, and then you've got another really easy puppet. Okay, we're going to tell Streganona. Tomie dePaola in 1975. He won the Caldecott Medal in 1976, and it is probably one of the most famous stories told by a children's amazing book author. And I'm going to tell you one little Bubba Mitza, grandma's story, about dePaola, because for those out there who are just beginning to read, this is one of my favorite true stories. When he was 5 years old, Tomie dePaola went to school, kindergarten. His mama walked him, dropped him off at school. He went into his class and he said, "Hello, my name is Tomie dePaola and I've come to learn to read." And the teacher looked at him and said, "I'm sorry, we're really glad to see you, but we don't learn to read till first grade." And he said, "I'll see you then," turned and walked home. It was a small town and he knew how to get home. When he got home, his mom said, "What are you doing here? You're supposed to be in school." He said, "I went to the teacher and I said, I've come to read." And she said, "We don't do that till first grade." So his mama, good mama that she was, took his hand, walked him back to school, told the teacher the dilemma, and said he won't come to school unless he can learn to read. So she and the teacher made a deal. She gave him a little book, as he likes to call it. It was red, a reading primer, how to read. And she gave it to his mama. And for all of kindergarten, his mama taught him how to read. Tomie dePaola became one of the most famous children's book writers. Big round of applause for Tomie. And here goes our story. Once upon a time, a very long time ago, we are told there was a woman who lived in a tiny little village, and her name was Streganona. That's me. My name is Streganona. It means grandma witch. Oh, I'm a good witch. I only do good magic. For example, I, Streganona, can remove warts from the middle of your nose. I, Streganona, can cure your headache. But my favorite magic is I, Streganona, can make pasta in the magic pasta pot. And I tell you the truth, I'm getting old. So I put an ad in the paper. It said, "Help wanted, Streganona." That's me. Who should come to my door but a little boy from the village. His name is Big Anthony. Come in. "Hello, Streganona. I'm here to help." "Oh, Big Anthony, it's good to see you. I need help. I need someone to wash the windows, sweep the floors, take out the garbage." "Oh, I can do that. But Streganona, I have heard that you have a magic pasta pot." "I do, Big Anthony, but you must never go near my pot." "Why not?" "Because it's dangerous to fool with magic." "Oh, I like danger." "Don't go near the pot." "Yes, ma'am." And he never did when she was there. But the minute she left the house, the minute she left out of his sight, Big Anthony raced to the pot. He looked all over. He even looked inside. He looked on the left side and the right side. He looked on the underside. "Big Anthony, come back." But he couldn't find it. "Big Anthony, what are you doing next to my pasta pot?" I'm just curious, Streganona." "Now go outside, Big Anthony. I'm going to make the pasta." "Oh, can I watch?" "No." Okay, here we go. "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot. Boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup." So, Big Anthony, why are you here? I forgot something. Big Anthony, outside. Such a boy. Here we go. "Bubble, bubble, pasta pot. Boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time." Big Anthony, outside. Well, Big Anthony went outside, but he found a window ledge, and there he lay so he could listen to Streganona making the pasta. Bubble, bubble, pasta pot. Boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. So boil enough pasta to fill me up. And pasta started to rise. Oh, yummy, 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 yummy. And it rose higher and higher. And pretty soon after Striganona had eaten her fill, she said, enough, enough, my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm ready another day. Oh, I'm so tired. I think I'll take a snooze. Striganona went into her room and promptly fell asleep. Not moments later, Big Anthony, now knowing the cue to start and stop the pasta, raced into town. He said, hey, everybody, guess what I can do? Big Anthony, me, I know how to make pasta in the pasta pot. Nobody believed him. Not one person in the village. After all, would Striganona tell Big Anthony all of her secrets? Big Anthony, you're not telling the truth. Maybe you're stretching it just a little bit. Everybody knows you can't make pasta in the magic pasta pot. It's a family secret. Ooh, Big Anthony got so mad. He said, you'll be sorry. You'll see. You'll eat your words. And did they ever? Now, the very next morning, Nona woke up. She said, oh, Big Anthony, good news. I'm going to see my sweet cousin, Strega, Sophia. I am going to remove a wart from the middle of her nose. Oh, you're not going to remove her nose, are you? No, my sweet, just the wart. Now, a couple of things. I have a few errands I've listed for you to do in the kitchen, but please remember not to go near the pasta pot. Okay, sure thing. Right. Well, Striganona walked down the road, and the minute she was out of his sight, woohoo, Big Anthony raced to that pot. He could hardly wait. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is it. I'll show them what's Big Anthony could do, and he did. Here we go. I think I got the words. Okay, I got it. Bubble, bubble. Yeah, that's right. Bubble, bubble, because it would boil, right? Okay. Bubble, bubble, pasta. Boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry, and it's time to sup. So boil enough pasta to fill me up, and it did. The pasta started to boil and went higher and higher and higher. Oh, Big Anthony was so excited he could hardly wait. So he started to eat just a little bit, and then it kept on going higher and higher. Pretty soon he said, oh no, I gotta tell my friends. I'll be right back. So Big Anthony went and he gathered all his friends around. They said, okay, Big Anthony, show us your stuff. He said, stuff, I got pasta, look. Oh, it's beautiful. Can we have some? Eat away, said Big Anthony, and they did. And it kept on going higher and higher. Pretty soon they said, Big Anthony, you gotta stop this. It's gonna get all over Striganonna's floor. He said, not a problem. Enough, my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot to simmer down my pot of clay until I'm ready another day. But he hadn't seen the kisses. He'd only heard the words, and the pasta kept rising higher and higher and higher. Pretty soon it covered Striganonna's floor, and then it started to go faster and faster until it was everywhere. It was in the library. People were checking it out with their books. Oh, Big Anthony, he tried to race after it. He yelled. He said, hurry, hurry, everybody. It's the pasta. And everybody, and including the whole village, was covered with pasta. It chased Big Anthony, and soon he, too, was laying in a huge pot of pasta. Now, in the meantime, who was on her way home? None other than our heroine, Striganona. She looked everywhere, and she could, oh my goodness sake, what have we got going on here? Oh, Big Anthony, what have you done? And the pasta kept coming higher and higher. Oh, oh, Mamma Mia. I got it. Okay. Bubble, bubble, pasta. I know this. What? Am I kidding myself? I'm just a little nervous. Bubble, bubble, pasta pot. Boil me some pasta nice and hot. I'm hungry and it's time to sup. So boil enough pasta to fill me up. And it kept coming. Oh, no, wrong one. Oh, everybody makes a mistake. Oh, Striganona, think. I got it. Enough, my pasta pot. I have my pasta nice and hot. So simmer down my pot of clay until I'm ready another day. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Oh, What a mess. What am I to do? My house is covered with pasta. Oh, Mamma mia. Oh, no. Oh, no. Look at my big Anthony. He's covered with pasta. Big Anthony. What am I going to do with you? You must learn to pay attention. It's the most important thing we teach. Oh, Big Anthony. Big Anthony was frightened, but he also was so sad that he had disappointed STREGANONA, who he loved. He said, STREGANONA, I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. You better believe it. What do you mean? You, my boy, must learn your lesson in the best possible ways I can teach. So, Big Anthony, you see this pasta that is everywhere? You're going to eat all that pasta. And he did. By the time he went to sleep, he had a tummy ache you couldn't believe, but he never fooled with magic again. And he always pays attention, just like you. Thank you, STREGANONA. Would you take a bow? Thank you so much. Story of STREGANONA and Big Anthony is a story about paying attention. It is the hardest. All my teacher friends, including all of my teaching students, will tell you that's the truth. Big Anthony, who learned to pay attention until he had a tummy ache. You would not believe that. Just 2 minutes left to just reiterate the easy ways you can tell this story and some of the simple tools. Any box will do. Does it have to be a pasta box? No. If you have a bag and it's empty, paper bags work the same. If you happen to have a pom-pom at home, great. If you happen to have a soup, make sure you eat your soup, whatever the flavor, and a piece of paper with the words right on it will help you tell the story. One last reminder on how to make that funky, funky face. You need a piece of paper. You can make it as big or as small as you want. And you need a scissors and you need a stapler. And once you have those magic tools, you can make story after story after story. My grandma, who I loved, who would tell me stories, would have wanted you to have this gift as well. So I'm going to make with you some villagers so that you'll have an audience to tell the story just like I did. So I've taken our piece of paper. This is our village. And I folded it now once and twice. And I am going to make you some friends just to come and eat that pasta. You do one cut. What is the clue here? I'm making scraps on the floor. Making sure you always leave something on the edge. And then you do that. One arm, first one arm, and then the other. Cut there. Whoa, what a mess. And then a head. And what you're doing is a bunch of people who will always support each other, who will always stay together. My grandma, whose name, by the way, was Mabel, she changed it. When she was born, she was Pearl. But she decided after she met my grandpa, who called her his beauty, that she would change her name to Ma Belle, which means my beauty. So here it is. Grandma made these for me when I was a little girl. My grandma, my very own grandma. Not a witch doctor, but she could have been. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 people who live in the village. Would you please take a bow? Thank you very much for listening to our story. And I hope that all of you, like Big Anthony, have a full tummy when you go to sleep and live happily ever after. Sit down, bow.